Vanessa Feltz.
Call 0800 731 2000. Lovely listener, welcome to BBC Radio London's Breakfast Show with me, Vanessa Feltz. It's 8:39 and we have a bus safety story for you this morning. Getting on a London bus can be hot, it can be stuffy, it can be busy, we all know that, but how often do you worry about your safety on board a London bus? Well, according to TfL figures, the London bus network has had 20,000 safety incidents in just 3 years, and deaths caused by buses have not fallen in spite of falling passenger numbers. TfL say no death or injury is acceptable, and for that reason they've promised to eliminate all bus-related injuries by 2041. It's only 2018 now, but campaigners are accusing them of complacency. Tom Kearney joins me on the programme. He's a bus safety campaigner, and it's hardly surprising because in 2009 he was hit in the head by a bus's wing mirror on Oxford Street. Tom, we spoke before about this, didn't we? Good morning.
We did, on the 14th of November 2013.
Gosh, a long time ago.
Yeah.
I hope you won't mind talking us through that incident before we get on to the current state of play. What happened to you way back in 2009?
It was the Friday before Christmas, the busiest shopping day of the year, and a bendy bus going at least 20 miles an hour, going through a red light, as I've since found out from analyzing the tape, hit me on the back of the head. I was still on the curb with its wing mirror, which pushed me in front of it, which then hit me again. It cracked my head open, popped both my lungs, and put me straight into a coma for 2 weeks.
Wow. And since that time, you've made it your business, your passion to campaign for safety on board London buses and also in the vicinity of London.
Not my business; it's my passion.
Your passion.
I'm 100% volunteer.
No, I don't mean that you're making money out of it. I mean you've treated it as a duty and also as something that you feel compelled to do. So fill us in on your primary worries and concerns about bus safety at the moment.
Look, we last spoke on the radio about 5 years ago. In the 56 months since we last spoke, 60 people have been killed in TfL surface transport safety incidents, 53 from buses, and 7 from the Croydon tram in November 2016. The last surface transport chief, who left on the 20th of December of 2017, was paid over £2 million, and 87 people died in the 80 months while he was on the job. So the good news is that he's no longer there. He left and in the 20th of December 2017. And that ended 17 years of TfL surface transport management, effectively run by a bus lobby, and the appointment of Gareth Powell by Transport Commissioner Mike Brown on the 20th of December 2017, I believe has fundamentally changed the approach of TfL. Now, you might have seen the FT article yesterday was published, and in the article, a board member mentioned the existence of 2 safety cultures at TfL, the railway safety culture and the surface transport or bus safety culture. Up until the 9th of November 2016, trams were also run by buses. That's the Croydon crash. And so the essence of safety culture is that the basic concept is safety culture is what you tolerate in your organization. And TfL effectively, under surface transport for 17 years, there's a very good quote by Thomas Paine, sort of 18th century blogger, which is a long habit of not thinking a thing wrong gives it the superficial appearance of it being right. And there was a high tolerance of deaths and injuries. If you look at the average, I mean, really, even since we last spoke, the average is over 1 person a month dying from bus safety incidents.
And we have TfL here now saying they deplore all such incidents, obviously, and they've promised to eliminate all bus-related injuries by 2041. What do you think of that as a response?
Look, I think they could end tomorrow if TfL actually put their mind to it. And I think 2041 is, I mean, talk about kicking the ball down the field. Look, I think you have to look at across safety culture can change. The railway culture in the United Kingdom up until the Paddington crash was very bad. Tens of people, I mean, dozens of people a year would die. They'd fall out of trains. There'd be train crashes. That changed. It took years, but it changed. I mean, if you look at the Croydon tram crash, which was run by buses, with the first train-related deaths in 8 years. Now, I know transport experts will say the tram wasn't a train, but the bottom line is, if you had 0 deaths in the United Kingdom for 8 years in railway, after years of having dozens of people die. That shows you that safety culture can change. Now, I feel strongly that Mike Brown, having met with them and exchanged and actually talked with them, I feel strongly that their heart and their minds are in the right place.
Good.
And they want to change the safety culture of buses. That will take time. My argument is that you have to start with the bus drivers who recognize fully the host of conditions they operate under, which cause them, incentivize them effectively to behave dangerously. In September last year, hundreds of bus drivers showed up in front of TfL to protest. And they presented the mayor, he didn't show up, but sent down some assistants to pick up something called the London Bus Driver Bill of Rights, which were 10 things that bus drivers feel they're entitled to. And look at, if you go through the Bill of Rights, it's the right to a safe work schedule without forced overtime or loss of pay, the right to a decent and proper rest break for the working day, the right to a safe and well-maintained vehicle. There are 7 other.
Tom, I'm going to have to leave it there, but thank you very much indeed for drawing our attention to this, and a privilege to speak to you again after all these years. I'll just read you the statement from TfL. No death or serious injury caused by London bus is acceptable, which is why our Vision Zero goal is to eliminate this. Here they say by 2030. Our ongoing work to improve bus safety includes support and training for drivers as well as utilising new technology. We're also redesigning London's buses and road junctions to make them safer. We'll be straight back with you after the travel news.